I just want to give a special shout out to these two amazing people. Yes, this is Felicia Green and this is Chris Greer. And not only are they a couple, a power couple, but they also have a new show called Lights, Camera, Action. And I'm so excited and I'm truly honored to have been their first guest. All I can tell y'all is that this show is going to be absolutely amazing. So if you want to know what's going on in the industry, who's in the industry, how to get into the industry, if you want to know about movies and all that good stuff, you definitely want to watch their show. Follow them on Facebook, and it will provide the information that you need so that you'll know when the shows will start to actually air. From my understanding, you can find them locally on CAN TV here in Chicago, and then also you'll be able to find them on Roku. So if you're not here in Chicago, you'll be able to watch them anywhere you're at, okay? But good luck and many, many blessings to both you, Chris, and Felicia on your new show, Lights, Camera, Action. This is me, Amazing. Love y'all. Peace.
Welcome to Lights, Camera, Action with our hosts Christopher Greer and Felicia Green. We are so excited for our wonderful guest today, Erica Porter, as well as Chicago's own Curtis Kincaid. I'm Leslie Berry, your announcer, and make sure that you enjoy the show because I will, even if you don't.
I sit down, I twerk when I sit down. I sit down when I twerk.
No. My first show.
First show.
A lot of firsts. Hey, 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 go Erica. Go, go, hey.
Hey, hey, welcome everyone to our first show, Lights, Camera, Action, with Christopher A. Greer and
Felicia Green. Oh, you know
right.
what? Mine's Felicia A. Green.
Wow.
Wow.
And I'm Christopher A. Greer.
How about that?
You know what? Let me tell you a little story about that.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
Matter of fact, welcome to our show. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about current events. We're going to have guests on. We're going to have all different types of things going on.
Restaurant reviews?
Restaurant reviews. We're going to go to different restaurants and review them.
And eat.
And eat.
That's all. I'm only here for the eating. I just want to eat.
Right,
That's
right. But you know what? Let me share something with you folks here. This young lady right here, I proposed to her in 10 minutes that I met her.
He did.
Yeah.
Legit.
And so when I found out that her last name was Green, I was like, you know what? If me and you got married, you just had to change one letter.
And I said, okay, cool. What day?
I said, what you doing Tuesday?
I said, nothing. Let's do it. Kids may trip out, but they'll be all right.
Right. Right. And then next thing you know, boom, we were an item. But we want to welcome you all to the show. We had a very, very interesting week. Matter of fact, me and her went to the movies, and we saw one of our favorite movies, but it was the part 2 of it. We saw Top Gun.
Maverick. And that movie was amazing. So I don't know about you, Chris, but for me, seeing a movie that, what was it, 30 years ago they made the first one?
That was 30 years ago?
I think it was 20 or 30, almost longer than I've been alive. But anyway, to have a part 2 after so long, I was a little worried that it was going to be good or not. But that movie was freaking amazing. And I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but the way they brought in Val Kilmer,
oh yeah,
simply amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I love the first Top Gun. I've seen the first Top Gun probably 5, 6 times, maybe 5 or 6 times. And it always gets me. It hits me right here.
Oh my gosh. But speaking of movies, you've been pretty busy yourself.
Oh, yeah.
This guy was learning 6 scripts, 6 different characters in a week.
Yeah. I worked 6 whole days, which is a lot, actually, when you're when you're an actor. You know, the first four days I was working downtown with Kirkland Ellis Law Firm. And then later on that Thursday, I shot a movie that was directed and written by Quincy J. Trent called Fatal Witness. It stars Simeon Henderson and Cuba's little brother.
Omar Gooding.
Omar Gooding, yeah. And so I shot that Thursday. I think we finished somewhere around like 11 o'clock that night.
And hopped the plane.
Hopped the plane to LA to shoot this movie called Will, which is filmed, written and directed by Kelvin Crane Jr. And I hope that he's watching and stuff like that. So,
absolutely.
And then flew back Sunday and then got up the next morning and took the kids to school, didn't I?
No, they were on what is the Memorial Day or something like that.
Memorial Day, yeah. Exactly. So I didn't do that money.
No, you were off from being a nanny that day.
Right, Mr. Mom.
Manny.
Manny.
We also have in July coming up. We have our movie premiere where we actually met on this movie.
Right.
Two Wrongs Don't Make It Right premieres July 23rd.
That's right. Mr. Daryl T. Easley actually wrote and directed that one. So enough about us. We're going to get to our guest. And so you all stay tuned. We're going to be up soon with our first guest, Miss Erica Porter. Hey, we're back. And we're back with one of my very, very close and talented friends, Miss Erica Porter. Thank you for joining us today for our first show. You know, when I thought about our first guest for our first show, you're the first person that came to mind.
Now that is the truth.
I feel so honored. I mean, out of all the people you know.
Yeah.
And have worked with.
Right.
You know. I get it though, because I'm playing special.
You are. Definitely.
But it's truly an honor to be here with the both of you guys, and I'm really excited for the future of your show.
Thank you.
And your marriage and your family. So
thank you.
Yes,
thank you,
many
thank
blessings
you.
upon you guys. Yes.
Thank you. I was looking at your bio and your press kit, and I was like, wow. and I know her. You know, I'm like, man.
Yeah.
Let's start with what made you really decide to go into media itself? Because she's the media maven, y'all. I don't know if y'all know that.
Everything, all facets.
You know, it's interesting you asked that because people do. They also, I was telling somebody earlier, I said they call me media maven before they call me Erica. But when I was I've always been fascinated with the media, television. You know, I remember living in the projects and being 5, 6 years old, and we had a little black and white TV on the floor, and I would watch Flintstones in the morning.
Right.
And I would take my orange crayon and I'd color the screen because I knew that he was supposed to have on orange. Right. But we couldn't afford a color TV, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was those moments where, you know, as a child, not even really recognizing that I had the ability to tell stories, to visually see things and bring them to life and help others do the same thing. You know, it took years upon years for that to happen. When I was graduated from high school, I was offered tons of scholarships, and none of them was in media. So I went the direction of law, studied pre-law.
Yeah, I did too.
I I was so miserable.
Right.
And I went to my counselor and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I just don't want to do this anymore. And she said, well, let's take this, and now they have them, these assessments that I actually offer through my company, career assessments. And she said, fill this out, let's look over this. They gave me the results. All areas pointed to the arts and entertainment industry. I knew that all the stories that I had written, I knew all the things the things that I had drew over the years, the songs that I created on the back end, things that I just did as a child, all those things began to come together, Right. And so as soon as I took that moment and said, okay, this is it. I didn't know what I was gonna do, but I knew I was gonna be in the space. Yeah. And here we are, like 26 years later. So, yes.
I mean, wow.
So you were basically dreaming in color.
Yes, I put that in my book, that I dreamt in color.
Oh, what's the name of your
It's
book?
called Confessions of a Media Maven.
There you have it.
So what I do is I talk about the trials and tragedies that I experienced as a childhood, which when people look at me, they make the automatic assumption that, I know, God is good.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
There.
Right.
But it took a lot for me to be here.
Right.
I was the person that had low self-esteem. I was the person that tried to commit suicide almost 30 times in my life.
Wow.
I was the person that, plenty of times I was hustling in the streets just to feed my family. These things that, before my kids. I had my first daughter at the age of 16. So I was already a statistic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just so grateful to be in the space where I can actually share and help others and inspire others who are hurting. Now, one of the reasons why I created that book or started writing that book is because I didn't want to hold anything else in. I didn't want to continue to hurt. And I recognized that there were other people in this industry particularly that hurt even greater than some of the people can even imagine.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
the depression, the drug use, all these other things that people deal with, the abuse, all these things, it's like heightened. The creatives, we have to put our energy in certain spaces, right?
Yeah.
In order for us to heal, right? But if you don't have that on a continuous basis, what do you do?
Exactly.
So speaking of that, and wow, your story is my story. Speaking of that, what kept you going? What made you different than maybe the person that's watching now saying, well, I don't have that drive, or I don't know how to break away from that depression? What kept you going?
My family, the desires of people in the streets that actually gravitated towards me. People, they would stop me in the grocery store, just start telling me their story, asking for advice. And I'm like, and I'm that person, like I said, I had low self-esteem. I would rather I was a producer, I've been a producer for forever, okay? I was better off staying behind the scenes, so I thought.
Yes.
Behind the camera, so I thought. And God was like, no, baby girl, I'm gonna keep putting people in front of you to show you gotta be out in front of the world. I'm like, but no, let me continue to create, do these live shows, do these productions, do these hit shows, quietly, nobody knows who I am, they just see my name scroll on the screen. He was like, no, baby girl, people need to see you. And so it became not just the people in the grocery store and the neighborhood, it became the people in the industry. They was like, oh, I'm hurting right now. I don't know how to deal with it. My father hurt me, my mother hurt me, my family hurt me. I'm by myself. But I have a dream.
Right.
I have a dream to create. I have a dream to tell stories. And I don't know how to get there. Sometimes those are also what we call stumbling blocks.
Yep.
And what we think are recognized as plateaus, no, those are stumbling blocks. Those are the things that we've not healed from in our past. It's getting in the way of really pushing that creative energy out there and truly aligning ourselves with our vision. And so that's where we end up, looking up and we're like 60, 70, 80 years old and have not accomplished our goals. Not that they haven't been put in front of us, is that we have not making a decision or choice to actually do something about the past.
Absolutely. Deal with it now so it doesn't show up later.
That's it.
Exactly. Wow.
That's it.
That is amazing.
And I know we came to talk about producing and all that kind of stuff, but my platform is media and motivation.
Right.
I said, my career, I'm an accomplished television producer. I'm an author. I also am a motivational speaker. And you might see me on TV sometimes, like now, So, I've done the shows, like Empire, and a number of the other shows.
Oprah.
I'm SAG. I didn't ask to do that. Like I said, I ran. I'm a SAG actress. So all these things, like, God literally said, here. Once I took heed and I listened and I positioned myself accordingly, then that was it. I had to also realize and be accountable for the things that I've allowed to happen to me. Right? Because in order for you to move forward, you got to learn how to forgive yourself. Heal, forgive yourself. Healing comes, forgiveness comes with healing. Vice versa, right? So you got to put yourself in that position where you're like, okay, I screwed up. I was a major screw up. I did this, and I did this, and I did this, and I did this. Okay, that's fine. Let me go and do what I need to do to heal, to help myself, right? If that requires for you to talk to a therapist, if it requires you to talk to Media Maven, because she talked to everybody too, y'all. She does. She does. But, pastor, whoever that is, take that opportunity to focus on healing. And when you can heal, then you begin to positively impact those around you. That's what you guys are doing. You're going through your individual personal healing spaces. And look, y'all come together, and y'all about to change a whole bunch of people's lives with this TV show alone.
Absolutely. I've
received that. Definitely.
You say that, and that's a conversation he and I had, and I told him we could not meet until we did the work on ourselves.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
That's when we were allowed to meet. So starting with your story is what everyone needs to hear.
Yeah.
Because people do think, they automatically see, oh, she has all of this, but you wasn't there with me shooting in the gym.
No, honey.
Right.
You didn't start back here with me.
Yes.
Everybody looks at that highlight reel.
Right.
Yes.
It's like, oh man, you popping. It's like, psh. But you don't remember them days when I was just eating cereal.
That part.
With no milk.
Or nothing.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
We talked about that with the twins the other day, and we call it those mystery meals.
Yes.
I was like, guys, what do y'all think about? And they just don't know. That's all I had.
Right.
So you were gonna eat it or not eat it.
Yeah. Tuna casserole was a staple after I said raising 4 kids. And they love my tuna casserole. One of my daughters, she texted me the other day, Mom, I need your recipe. But tuna casserole was one of the things of being a single mom. I have 4 kids, and I have 5 granddaughters. Everybody's at the house. Everybody lives in different cities. And they still text me for those casserole recipes.
So my biggest one was the shrimp noodles and eggs. I'm like, y'all have no idea.
Right.
I was in there digging for
Y'all
that.
had shrimp?
I made this up.
Y'all had shrimp. Where you get the shrimp from?
Shrimp noodles. Okay.
Oh, shrimp noodles.
Ramen noodles. Yep.
Ramen noodles with the shrimp flavor.
Yeah. And little peas to it.
Right. That's it. That's all.
Some peas up there.
This is phenomenal. I'm amazed by you. I watch you on social media anyway.
Okay.
And I go find your posts. I'm not gonna lie, because I got to see what kind of funny stuff you're gonna say. And that thanks management, I freaking love it.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But I think you are amazing.
Thank you.
To hear your story just gives me chills, because it's my story, and I think it's several people's story.
Yes.
And they need to see that you did it, I did it, they can do it too.
Yes.
It's someone at home right now that's stuck saying, I want to do this,
Yes.
but there's no but. You just have to do it.
Yep.
do
It's
it.
never too late. I've been invited to speak on events over the years, and it amazes me, from the young to the tenured, I say, that are still struggling and still hurting and need to just get past these things.
Right.
And it's mind blowing that God uses me.
Yes.
Sometimes it shocks me, because I'm like, I've been saved and delivered for a long time.
Yeah, but you got a story to tell.
But I surely, yes,
You have
that
a story.
part, and more importantly, this and more than a story, it's for me, it's just to continue to inspire and motivate people to fulfill their dreams. We all have some level of passion.
Definitely.
But we sometimes need somebody to jumpstart that or ignite it. And so I've been fortunate to be able to do that for what I say thousands of lives. So
that is a wonderful
Well, I'm definitely
thing.
one of them.
Yeah.
I'm excited to know you have met you.
Thank you. Likewise, Felicia.
Yeah, and we're getting the sign that we need to wrap up. We need a whole hour with Erica. And so we want to thank Miss Erica Porter for gracing us with our presence. And we got Leslie coming up, getting ready to introduce our next guest.
This segment is sponsored by 1st Congressional candidate Cassandra Goodrum. She reminds us that together we can win. Now, you guys, you don't want to go anywhere. Our next guest is Chicago's own Curtis Kincaid. All right? We are here at Lights, Camera, Action. Stay tuned.
That's funky.
That's funky.
You know what I wrote? No, I didn't
No,
write
you
that.
didn't.
Did you?
Stop it.
We're back. Lights, camera, action. We got my man Curtis Kincaid.
Yeah,
and you know, I'm a guitar player myself, but that man makes me look like I'm going like Mary Had a Lip. We can't put. We can't. We don't. But I'm all right, man.
That,
but welcome to our first show.
Thank you, man.
Now, we did a video together.
Yes.
Us four did a video together. Miss Leslie did a video.
Oh,
she was in,
wonderful
and she was her best friend.
Her best friend.
And we did an excellent video. It was directed by Mr. Maurice Young Blaze.
Yes, sir.
Clopton.
Yes, sir. Young
Yeah,
Blaze.
yeah. I hope he's watching. So
Yes,
we just have to give a little shout out to my man there.
Definitely.
And we're gonna show it to you either later or right now. One of the guys.
I want to welcome you to love. It's alright to let go. This is a safe space to experience all your desires. All of you.
No, one or the other.
At
So,
some point.
my man,
My
welcome.
man, Chris. Thank you.
Welcome.
Great to be here, you and Felicia. Great to be here.
Man,
Great.
you know, I want to start off by asking,
Yes.
how long you been playing?
Oh,
Or
man.
when did you start?
Yeah, because you're about to say my age, right? So I started, I want to say 11.
Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to play drums.
Okay.
And my mother was like, nah, baby, that's going to be too loud.
Right,
So
in the
my
house.
neighbor had a guitar. So I said, well, you know what, can I get a guitar?
Mm-hmm.
And I really didn't necessarily want to play the guitar. I wanted to play the drums, but she got a guitar. And I picked it up, and I mean, I fell in love with Prince. And Prince was like a big influence of mine.
What was,
And just
what was the
from
first song you learned how to play by Prince?
Oh, man.
Because I'm a Prince fan. I'm a
Me
Prince
too.
fanatic.
Song. Wow. There was a lot, but my favorite was
Let's Go Crazy.
Yeah. But then it came into
Uh-huh.
and I love Prince. I love Prince. But just I just fell in love with the guitar. I mean, just the way you express yourself. I
Yeah.
mean, like a guitar is never in tune. You know, not like a piano.
Right,
So
right.
just the whole idea of, you know, just being able to speak through it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, watching Prince, watching The Time, like
Right.
big influences.
Jesse Johnson.
George Benson, Jesse
Yeah.
Johnson, Jimi Hendrix, B.B. King.
Yeah.
So I just fell in love with the guitar. And, you know, I had an amplifier. I used to blast my parents out every day. I mean, blast
bet
them
they
out.
wish they would have got the drums.
They, at that point, they probably wish they did, but they were very supportive. They never stopped.
Yeah.
They never said, baby, you know, it's too loud, it doesn't sound good. And then at some point, I started making music. You know, and I got really into songwriting. You know, I just didn't want to be a guitar player. I wanted to write songs and produce. And that was early on when, like, we definitely didn't have the equipment that we have now.
Right.
So I begged my father to buy me a 4-track, and that was like a big deal.
With that Tascam?
Tascam 4-track. That was a big deal.
It was.
And I mean, you had 4 tracks, and you had to basically you had to know what you were doing.
Right.
In order to make some music, because you only have 4 tracks. Not like nowadays the kids have unlimited.
Right.
And they'll have a track for like a bell, you know, like a shaker.
Right.
You know, we had to put everything on the same track.
And then we had to bounce it in order
Exactly.
to make more tracks.
Exactly. You
So,
had to
so once we had those
ping
4 tracks, perfect.
Right.
We took that and converted it into 1 track,
Chris,
and then we
you're
had
speaking.
3 more. Excuse me, 3 more. Yeah.
Speaking that lingo, that's
Yeah.
exactly what we had to do.
Yeah.
So I begged my dad, you know, Dad, can you get me this 4-track? And he bought it. And I mean, from there, I would just, you know, I had a drum machine. So, you know, I would program the drum beats. You know, I learned how to play the keyboards and basically just spend all night just making music. I mean, all night from 13 to, I won't even say my age, but just 13 just years of just practicing, making music, you know, until I ran out of space with the 4-track. And I said, you know
Right.
what, I need something else, Dad, you know. But at that point, I had a job. So I was able to buy some more equipment. But like the long story short is I just love music.
Yeah.
I love writing music. I love making music. I'm a banker by day.
Okay.
And that's my full-time
Yeah,
job.
we're going to talk about it later. You
Yeah.
know, about that bank might need some money from
You got it.
I
We'll
was
talk
like,
about that. We'll talk about that. Go ahead, continue. What you were saying?
But I'm a banker by day, but I'm a guitarist, you know, musician, producer all day. I played with,
That was my next question. Who
Right.
you played?
I played with DJ Quick.
Okay.
I played with Kendrick Family Soul. True story. I was called at the last moment because the other guitar player couldn't play. And they threw about 20 songs at me, and I had 2 days to learn it.
Wow.
My son he's 14 now, he was probably 3, and he was with me all the time. So I'm like, how am I gonna learn 20 songs, you know, after work? Because I was still working.
Yeah.
Right.
So, by the grace of God, I learned the songs. And when we got to the show, I forgot the lead singer's name, but he was expecting a different guitar player. So when I came up, he looked at me and said, man, you know, man, I hope you're good, man, because, you know, if you're not, you know what I'm going to have to do. So I understood, you know, like, that just means I won't be playing.
Right.
Right.
So I mean, midway into the show, I was so low and I knew all the songs. By the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen, Curtis Kincaid,
Right.
Chicago's own. He was like, hey man, anytime we do a show, I would love for you to do the show.
Oh,
you know?
wow.
So
That's amazing.
that was just a real good experience. And DJ Quick, that was great because he's one of my, definitely a fan of his.
Right.
Don't always love his lyrics, but I love his music and his musicianship.
yeah.
Yeah. He's awesome.
Because he produced for a whole lot of other
He's amazing.
rappers and things like that, and R&B players.
But I played on some big hits. Now, I met, and he's still a friend and a mentor today. His name is the legendary Traxter. He is probably one of the godfathers of just rap music, hip hop music in Chicago. And chance meeting, where I worked at. I was a banker, and the guy who trained me was a keyboard player. And he said, hey, Curtis, one of my buddies needs a guitar player for the studio session. So, I'm like, okay, so I went, and that's when I met Traxter. And Traxter's produced Do or Die, Twister, Mariah Carey. So I became his band leader. And I would put all the bands together for the shows. And I got the chance to play on Weather by Twister. It was his big hit. That was like my big chance, because like to that day, I still get royalties off that. So that was a real good opportunity. But true story, Traxter moved to Atlanta, and I hadn't talked to him in about 2 years. And I said, hey man, I heard that song on the radio. It was, that's the guitar to Weather. And he says, man, that's you playing it. And I said, when did I do that? I didn't even remember that I played the song, because I recorded on so many of his songs. So it just came to the point, I was like, wow, I don't even remember playing on this song. So, he gave me a publishing deal. I was his first songwriter to his company. And, from there, I played on a lot of stuff, just Twister, Do or Die, Johnny P. I wish I played on a Mariah Carey song, but I didn't. But just a lot of different stuff. And segueing into my own, I just came to the conclusion that I need to bet on me. I bet on a lot of other people, so I just went for broke. I got a day job, so I'm like, you know what? Bills are paid. Let me take this chunk, and we recorded the video. And it was such a blessing, because meeting Young Blaze, who's just an amazing producer.
Amazing, man.
He told me about you and Felicia. And I saw the pictures, and I was like, that man is cooler than me. And Felicia, you were just beautiful, the picture he gave me. And you were like, you had a different hairdo. You always have different hairdos, and you always look amazing.
I love it when she switch it up.
So the amazing part was the song Love Story. I got real tired of just, mainstream hip hop. Everything is just negativity. And it's really just the way the people who run the business want to portray us. Our love is what they fear. But the negativity is what they want to promote.
Exactly.
And I wanted to create a song that did not have that. It was about love, Black excellence. And meeting you and Chris and Leslie, Maurice, Young Blaze, it overwhelmed me how my dream came to life. And that's how we made the Love Story video. And it's doing great. Right now, it's about 20,000 views on YouTube.
As a matter of fact, what we're going to do is we're going to show it to our people at home. So we're going to have, we want to thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
We want to have you back more often. So we're going to have Leslie introduce our next segment. And y'all go out there and y'all check out the video Love Story.
Curtis Kincaid.
Curtis Kincaid. We want to thank you so much, my brother.
You. I'm overwhelmed.
All right.
When we come back, Dim Greers will tell us how their experience was at one of Chicago's best restaurants. Make sure that you stay tuned. This is Lights, Camera, Action.
Hey y'all, what's going on? We are at the Maple Tree Inn. You know, you gotta look over there. Look, the camera over there. We are at the Maple Tree Inn, and it is so far so good.
Absolutely beautiful, because today is our anniversary, as we told you guys. They're giving us complimentary Prosecco, right?
Prosecco, yes.
Yeah, so
Prosecco. So let me tell you a little bit about the Maple Tree Inn. You're Russian.
I wanted to try it, sorry.
It's a Louisiana it looks like Brazil.
It's not Brazil,
But
clearly.
it looks like it's Brazil. Brazil.
Basically, it's Louisiana cuisine. Some of the things on the menu consist of etouffee, crawfish and shrimp etouffee with chicken, blackened redfish etouffee.
Yeah, it sounds good. I don't know what I'm going to have yet, so I'm going to check out the menu. The chef, the cuisine is Eric Weinberg, head chef Mark Smith, and bar manager Emily Vaughn, and manager Emily Featherly. All right. So
Hopefully y'all can hear us because they're playing the standard jazz ensembles or New Orleans type music is what I'm used to it being called.
that's our waiter, Matt.
Yeah, Matt doesn't want to be featured on our show.
No, he said he's not dressed for it.
Here's to a whole year with this handsome guy and our free Prosecco.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. So for those of you who know me, I don't eat fish. I stopped eating fish a long time ago for reasons of fishing every single day and growing up on the water and eating fish all the time. However, mahi-mahi is a fish that I like. It doesn't have the fishy taste that catfish has. It almost tastes like a crab meat, if that makes sense. So kudos to Maple Tree Inn for their mahi-mahi puncher train. It's really good. Okay, so I'm not a fan of the greens. Coming from the south, I like mine cooked a little longer, and definitely I do not like the tomatoes being in it. That's not how I like my greens. I only like collard greens. I don't like the mixture of collards and mustards. I'm about to try this Brontosaurus Rex rib here shortly.
Because that's one piece of it. There's half a slab. There are the other pieces of it. It's definitely enough to eat.
Hey, we had a ball here at the Maple Tree. Man, whew, too tight. Jack, too tight.
I ate too much.
I ate too much, way too much. But we
That's
want to
why
thank
I wore a
everybody.
stretchy dress.
So we want to thank everybody at the Maple Tree Inn, and we're gonna see you next time. It's Lights Camera Action. Hey, I want to thank everyone for joining us on our first show. We want to thank the Maple Tree Inn for letting us have our anniversary dinner there. I want to thank our lovely guest, Miss Erica Porter. I want to thank you. I want to thank.
Media maven. Make sure you say that.
Yeah, the media maven.
Yes.
I want to thank our lovely announcer, Miss Leslie Berry. My best friend.
My best friend.
Her
Actually,
best
not
friend.
his best friend. My best friend.
And so what we're doing right now is we're gonna play out the whole show with Mr. Curtis Kincaid. So next time we'll see you. Lights, camera, action.
Chris Greer and Felicia Greer.
Yeah, that's right.